Good evening, everybody. I'm Suzanne Shirley, Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I'm here tonight to talk to everybody tonight about Chapter 13 of John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And this is an amazing study that we have been doing. Chapter 13, so that means we have 2 more chapters after this evening. Next week, we will not be on because I will be traveling out of town to the Massachusetts team that I cannot wait to see. It's been a year since I've seen those people. Some people I have never met because the team has grown and expanded since I was there last year. So I am beyond excited to be there. I wanted to share a couple of things with you before I got started. I want to show you this app. Let's see if I can get it up here. Okay, do you see this thing with the little leaf called Think Up? You see it? Think Up. Okay, Think Up is a positive affirmations app. And I think one of our ambassadors, Frankie Wise, recommended that we use this app. This is for positive affirmations. If you're in the 90-day challenge, or if you're not in the 90-day challenge and you're going to do the affirmations, I'm telling you something right now. Doing them 10 times a day is going to make you relentless. You will believe things you never believed before in your life. Just trust me, as hokey as it sounds, make your affirmations and do them 10 times a day. Okay, do you remember Jimmy Nitzo's video that I had you guys watch before you entered the 90-day challenge? When she set alarm reminders on her phone to say them 10 times a day, that's when she knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that she literally knew beyond a shadow of a doubt in her soul that she was going to rank up on the date that she was saying it. And guess what happened? It happened. I'm telling you something, what you say to yourself every single day, and however many times a day, you're reprogramming your brain, as crazy as it sounds, as you might be saying things that are not even in existence yet, but go ahead and say them out loud and you will it's going to bring opportunities to your life. It's going to make those things happen. You will believe in yourself. Your actions will follow. I can't tell you enough. And this little app, that's this Think Up thing that I just showed you, it has music behind, like a really soft music. You can choose the track. You can go in and it has tons and tons of different options that you can select. I will tell you it was $10.99 if you buy the premium version. You've got tons and tons of different affirmations that you can choose. You can write your own, which I did. I have many that I wrote myself. And then I have a whole bunch that I chose from the database that's in there on various different topics. You can record your own voice saying them, and it will play on a looping feed. It'll play them all right in a row. Or you can shuffle them and they'll shuffle in whichever various order. And it's amazing to listen to them, but you have to remember the power comes when you say them out loud. You speak them into existence. When you say them, it's something about your ears hearing your voice. It's you speaking and hearing at the same time. Your brain records it. And it makes a new pathway in your brain. It's proven, it's scientific. You are creating new pathways in the brain. And the brain knows nothing else but how to act based on reprogramming. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about Robin Sullivan, who's coming on this coming Tuesday night. You are going to want to be on the call Tuesday night. I know it's a late notice. I should have posted it 2 or 3 days ago. If you have something else going, cancel it. Get on the call live. It's always more powerful when you're on that call. You know, Robin, it took her a long time to get to Emerald. And now that she's in Emerald, it's taking her a long time to get to Sapphire. And I'm telling you something, you will be inspired by Robin. She is one of the most intelligent, professional, articulate women that I have ever met in my life. She is powerful. She doesn't believe that if I told you. She's like, oh, come on, Suzanne. She tells me that. But she is. She's incredible. She is a professional educator. She's, you know, very, very well educated. She has a master's degree. She was an elementary school principal. Incredible lady. You are going to love her. You got to come on to the call, 7 p.m. Tuesday night. I think it's I can't tell you the date. So anyway, this Tuesday night, let me tell you the date. Today's the 19th, so it's going to be the 21st of February, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You'll want to be on. Next thing I wanted to say before we go on, this is a book that I said a few weeks ago when we were starting the 90-day challenge, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. I had told you that I was thinking about doing this book study. And then because we started the 90-day challenge and I was so overwhelmed with getting organized with my personal business and getting that going, that I said I was not going to do this study. I've changed my mind, okay? Because reading and finishing this book has been probably the most powerful thing I have done in a long time. When you combine that with the 90-day challenge and putting together every single thing that we're doing day by day by day, consistent, reaching out, following up. You know what? This thing is truth, scientific evidence in there, easy to read. Get your book copy now. If you don't have the paperback, go ahead and buy it on Amazon.com. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter, PhD. This was written back in the 80s, I think. You can get it in paperback. This is a hardback version. It's red and white if it's paperback. I like the hardback. I've written all over the margins, just like I do in every book. So I'm telling you something. We are doing this. I'm not going to make a master class out of it, but we are already doing all the things required to be successful. And this is one of the most crucial aspects of our success. And that's why I'm not going to neglect. This is going to be our next book study. I am determined we are going to do this. You are going to get so much out of this. We're going to study this together. It's going to be powerful. Get your hands on this, okay? Let me get started. 15 Invaluable Laws. We are on chapter 13. Tonight is going to be pretty incredible, and I'm going to give you some personal experience with what I'm going to talk to you tonight about the law of modeling. We're going to talk about the law of modeling. What is the law of modeling? Well, it's not what it sounds like. It means that you need to follow after some sort of a mentor. And you need to not just find mentors in books. You need to find real life mentors. We're going to talk about tonight how to go about doing that, how to qualify who needs to be your mentor, what kind of characteristics do they need to have. And I'm going to tell you my own personal experience as a result of finding mentors in my life in Plexus and how that's changed everything for me. So basically, you need mentors. You need them. They cannot just be any person, anybody, okay? You need real, live people, more than mentors and books, to help you on your journey. And that's what I wrote at the top. This is basically the theme of this chapter. The most important personal growth phrase that you will ever hear a good leader say to you is, follow me. Follow me. And I have heard that phrase from many people, whether it be in a video, whether it be in a book, people that I don't know. I have all sorts of mentors that I don't even know, that don't even know my name. But then I have some real life people that are my mentors. Okay? And I'm going to talk about some of those things that they've done for me tonight and the experiences that I've had. But let's get into this. I don't want to talk forever and just read out of the book, but I want to just really touch on some things. Personal growth without the benefit of personal mentors could take me only so far, says John Maxwell. It is hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. That's the lesson of the law of modeling. You can't just have yourself to follow. You need to find some people to follow after. So whom should you follow? Whom? Most people who decide to grow personally find their first mentors in the pages of books. Absolutely. And if you are not reading books, then you are not learning new skills. If you are not reading books, then you are not learning new information that's going to change your life, change you as a person, and change your business. You must be reading personal growth and development books. If you are not doing that, you are shortchanging yourself. You cannot expect to have traction in your business until you have traction in your own life and your own personal growth. But at some point, you must find personal models outside of authors of books. You're going to have to find some personal models too. If you follow only yourself, you will find yourself going around in circles. Okay? I'm just going to stop here for a second and let you know that's kind of what I feel like I've been doing last year, the year 2016. Towards the end of the year of 2016, I would say starting around July on. So let's say July and on, I started to realize after I turned Senior Ruby in February of 2016, and then I set a date for May to be an Emerald. I wasn't an Emerald. Then I set July 31st for an Emerald. I did not turn Emerald in July 31st. Then I set it for September 30th. That didn't happen, September 30th. Then I set it for December 31st. That did not happen, December 31st. I had 4 goals in the year 2016 to hit Emerald. And I took actions in various places, in various strategic times to try to bring that about. It did not happen. I realized at some point halfway through the year that this probably wasn't going to be happening. It might not. I didn't say probably, but I said it might not. I still believed, and I worked on my belief, but I started to realize that things needed to change. Something needed to change. It's not like I was making mistakes with my team, but it started to become clear that I needed to make some changes with my own personal business. And so that's what brought us to the 90-day challenge. That's what brought us to the card filing system that I work on so diligently. That's what brought us to this card filing system, okay? That's what brought me to write an actual real live Frank's list that has, at this point, over 872 names now. Okay, I'm not even halfway done. It made me realize I know a heck of a lot more people than I thought I knew. A lot of things changed. One of the biggest things that changed is I started asking people that I saw had incredible skills in areas I did not have an incredible skill. I started speaking to them, seeking them out, messaging them, and very humbly asking them for help without bugging them. And I was blessed by God that they answered me and that they counseled me. And they've given me their support, their encouragement, and their help. And I can name them for you tonight, but I think I won't do that. It's incredible when you find some mentors that have gone before you. Some of them are only just a couple of steps ahead of me. And some of them are only just one rank ahead of me. Some of them are emeralds. Some of them are sapphires. And I have some incredible diamond mentors that are amazing. I mean, amazing people. And they will answer my questions. They do not ignore me. I do not bug them all the time, but if I need them, they are there for me. And I feel blessed. So I am going to say this right now personally to you. Do not be afraid to reach out to someone that inspires you, to reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be a diamond in this company. If you see somebody on a YouTube video that's doing something that you don't feel like you have a grasp of, if they have a skill that you don't have, if they're doing something successfully that you want to master and you feel like that's something that's going to change your business, then reach out to them and ask them to help you. Do not bug them. And also, my advice is that you promise to make a plan of success for yourself in that skill that you're trying to acquire, and that you hold yourself accountable. Don't expect them to contact you and say, how are you doing with that? You need to tell them how you're doing. You need to tell them what you're doing and give them an update every now and then. And maybe every time you talk, schedule the next time. And I'm talking not weekly, perhaps monthly. okay, because they have teams to run and they have people that ask them for help. And so they'll let you know how available they are, but do not choose mentors who are not available for you. Do not choose mentors who will not love you. Do not choose mentors that don't have time for you, because that's not a mentor. You need someone who's going to love you, have time for you, and be there for you. Look at your message and not ignore it, but answer your message. Okay, so that's my personal experience with mentors. And I'm going to tell you something right now that could very well be one of the main reasons when I hit Emerald is my mentors. I'm here to tell you that right now. So there's 6 things. You got to be selective when you're choosing a mentor. There's 6 things that you need to have, 6 criteria that you need to pre-qualify for these individuals that you choose to be your mentor. Number 1, a good mentor is a worthy example. They have a worthy example. They display professional excellence in all they do. They possess skill sets from which you can learn. And they must also demonstrate character worthy of emulating. A character, an incredible character that you find worthy of emulating. Okay. A religious leader and author, Gordon B. Hinckley, said this, and I'm going to read it. It's a little bit long, but it's important, so I'm going to read it. It's impossible to separate personal behavior from professional life. You know, so many politicians and athletes in the world today think that they can act however they want to in their personal life, and that nobody should pay any attention to that and connect that to their professional life. That if they want to look up to them as a professional, that's fine, but they should completely ignore their personal life. And that is a fallacy. That is arrogant. No teacher on the planet can certainly do that. A teacher has to uphold not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom, the professional character and integrity in order to have an example for their students. A teacher cannot separate what goes on at school and what goes on outside of school. We're not paid a lot of money, so therefore we don't have an arrogant attitude about how we need to be treated. But yet athletes and politicians, because they're paid so well, they think that the public should just ignore their personal behavior. Well, that's phooey. So it is not wise or even possible to divorce private behavior from public leadership. Though there are those who have gone to great lengths to suggest that this is the only possible view of enlightened individuals, they're wrong. They're deceived. And by very nature, true leadership carries with it the burden of being an example. It is asking too much of any it's a question. Is it asking too much of any public officer elected by his or her constituents to stand tall and be a model before the people, not only in the ordinary aspects of leadership, but in his or her behavior? If values are not established and adhered to at the top, behavior down the ranks is seriously jeopardized and undermined. Indeed, in any organization where such is the case, be it family, a corporation, a society, or a nation, the values being neglected will in time disappear. So it's extremely important that you find somebody that has massive amounts of character. As you look for role models and mentors, scrutinize their personal lives as carefully as their public performance. Make sure that they match. Your values will be influenced by theirs. If their values are not up to par, then your values are going to be affected greatly when you start to follow them. So you should not be too casual who you choose to follow. All right. Number 2, a good mentor is available. As I told you that before, they need to have time for you. For us to be actively mentored by a real person, we must have time with people to ask them questions and learn from their answers. The greatest piece of advice that I can give, this is John Maxwell talking, the greatest piece of advice that I can give in the area of availability is that when you are looking at a mentor, do not shoot too high too soon. What's an example of that? For example, if you're considering going into politics and you're a brand new person to politics for the first time, you don't need the advice of the President of the United States. Okay? You don't need to go to the very top of the echelon to get a mentor. All right. You don't need to shoot too high, shoot too high when you're starting out. Why not start with the best? Well, first of all, number one reason, if you're just starting out, nearly all of your questions can be answered by someone who's just 2 or 3 levels ahead of you, not 10 necessarily. You don't need somebody that's 10 levels above you. If you want to think about rank, for example, or 10 massive, huge steps above you to be your counselor. You need people that are just about 2 or 3 levels above you. People that are just a few steps ahead of you, okay? Number 2, CEOs need to be spending their time answering the questions of their people who are on the verge of leading at their level, which is the top level, right? The CEOs of the top echelon need to be counseling the people at the top, right? So John says, I'm not saying you should never go to the top. I'm saying spend the majority of your time being mentored by people who are available, who are willing and suited for the stage of your career. And as you progress in your development, find new mentors for your new level of growth. Okay? Number 3, a good mentor has proven experience. You can see their success. It's obvious. Okay? Benefit from others' experience. That's what you always need to do. You're going to benefit from their experience. A Chinese proverb says, to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. So guess what? People have already gone there. You need to ask them how they got there. They're already coming back from their experience. You can ask them, how did you get there? All right. So John says, I began to seek out successful church leaders in large churches around the country. When he started trying to get a better pastorate or move up and get a better position, he started to seek out successful church leaders in larger, not large, but larger than his around the country. What an ingenious idea. He didn't need to go to the largest churches in the country. He just needed to go to churches bigger than his. He wanted to know what in the world they were doing to attract that kind of number of people. So when he wrote his first book, he sat down at the feet of successful leaders who would guide him. Examples would be to communicate more effectively, he studied communicators. When he wanted to write his first book, he went out and looked for successful authors. Okay? So whatever your goal is, your objective that you're trying to achieve, for example, I'll just be real. I think you guys have figured this out. I've been pretty vulnerable with you. When I needed a system of organization, I sought out somebody who would give me one and help me with that organization. When I needed a system of reaching out and following up and developing a cold market, I reached out and found the people to help me with that. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't need people at the top of the top to give me, for example, would I need to contact Helen McFadden, a diamond in this company who has over 20 years of network marketing experience, to learn how to do a card system or learn the basics of cold market recruiting? No. However, Helen McFadden is on my phone. Thank you, Jesus. She allows herself to be friends with me. I'm so blessed. Okay. Mostly Helen and I talk about politics, crazily enough. That's crazy, that the fact that goes on. I shouldn't have even said that name, but the fact is she has more than 20 years experience in network marketing. She doesn't need to talk to me about some of the basic skills of organization, a system, and cold market recruiting. But I can go to people who have those skills that I don't have, who I have seen have proven success, and they will give those things to me. Rudy Giuliani says all leaders are influenced by those that they admire. Reading about them and studying their traits inevitably allows an inspiring leader to develop his own leadership traits. Absolutely. Number 4, a good mentor possesses wisdom. Do they have wisdom? Okay. Mentors with wisdom often show us where to tap. Like, where is it that we need to tap into to really get some productivity? Okay, he tells a story, which I won't go into. But basically, you can tap over here and get nothing. You can tap over there and get nothing. But there's this one spot you need to tap in order to get some real results. And good mentors know where to tap. I could tell you many different occasions when I had light bulb moments having Zooms with certain mentors where they said to me, for example, your big runners, your biggest runners are going to come from your warm market. Okay, that's true. But do you have a large warm market? Do you have some influential people on your warm market? Do you have some people that trust you? Okay, so there's certain things that are going to have to apply to that, but she's right when she said that to me. I hadn't even thought about that. But one thing that I think Kelly Bruce on our team likes to point out, this is an Eric Worre quote, you are either blessed or cursed by your network prior to joining network marketing. So when you join network marketing, you're either going to be blessed or cursed from the network that you formed prior to network marketing. Do you have a big network? That's a blessing. If you don't, you're going to have to build that's the majority of us. We don't have a big, massive network of warm market people that we can draw from. Okay. We're not a Celeste Gwynn, for example. Gifted and talented people may be flawed. Keep that in mind. Not everybody who's gifted and talented has the capacity to mentor you. Just because they're gifted and talented doesn't mean that they have massive amounts of wisdom. Okay, so talents are in a given area never exempts a person from neglecting discipline or character issues. Remember that. We're all just one step away from stupid, according to John Maxwell. Okay? This is what wise people do for us. Wise people often use just a few words to help us learn and develop. They often open our eyes to worlds that we might not have otherwise seen without their help. And they help us to navigate difficult situations, and they help us to see opportunities that we would otherwise miss. And they make us wiser than our years and experience. Okay, so seek out some wisdom. Number 5, a good mentor provides friendship and support. They're going to be your friend. They're going to support you on your journey. The first question most followers ask a mentor is, do you care about me? The reason for this question is obvious. Who wants to be guided by a person who is not interested in them? Selfish people will assist you only insofar as it advances their own agenda. Remember that. Good mentors provide friendship and support, unselfishly working to help you reach your potential. And the thing I want to point out is the mentors that I've sought out are not in my upline. No offense to my upline. I love my upline. But these people that invest themselves in me do not earn one dime off of anything that I do. And the most incredible thing that I have felt in my soul lately is a message that just says, I prayed for you today. And that means everything to me. They know what I'm struggling with. They know what my fears are. They know what I'm trying to get done, what I'm trying to accomplish. They know what I'm working on, and they're there for me. They're praying for me. They care about me. And that is absolutely awe-inspiring and such a blessing to me. So my question for you is your mentor a friend? And do they support you unconditionally? They're not going to get anything back except for being blessed by knowing that they've helped you, right? So great things happen whenever we stop seeing ourselves as God's gift, okay, to other people. And we begin to see others as God's gift to us. And that's what these mentors have done. They don't sit around sitting on a high pedestal thinking that they're God's gift. They literally are there to see that I might be a blessing to them that God is giving them, which is I just can't believe it. If that person who offers to mentor you does not really support you and offer their friendship to you, then the relationship will always fall short of your expectations. You're always not going to be satisfied. Knowledge without support is sterile. Okay. Advice without friendship feels very cold. Candor without care is harsh. Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? However, when you are being helped by someone who cares for you, it is emotionally satisfying. Growth comes from both the head and the heart. Only supportive people are willing to share both of those with you. Okay. Number 6, we are at the last one, I think. Yep, number 6. A good mentor is a coach who makes a difference in people's lives. What are they doing for people? Are they making a difference in people's lives? You're going to see that if they are. What does the word coach mean? The word coach is derived from the horse-drawn coaches that were developed in the town of Cox during the 15th century. The vehicles were originally used to transport royalty, but in that time, they also carried valuables, mail, and common passengers. A coach remains something or someone who carries a valued person from where they are to where they want to be. I'm going to say that again. A coach. A coach remains something or someone who carries a valued person, that's you, from where they are to where they want to be. That's a coach. So if you had a coach who knew that you would end up, so if you had a coach, you knew that you would end up at your desired destination. So if you have a coach, you would know that by having that coach, you would end up in that desired destination. No matter the word that you use to describe them, coaches make a difference in other people's lives, period. They help them to grow, they improve their potential, they increase their productivity, and they are essential in helping people affect positive change. I can tell you today that those coaches that have coached me, those people, those mentors that I have asked their help and they have graciously bestowed it upon me, have changed me as a person and are changing my business as a result. I will give them credit. Yes, do I do the work? But will I give them credit? Absolutely, because they helped me. Andy Stanley says you will never maximize your potential in any area without coaching. You're never going to do it. Never. That's a big word. It is impossible, according to him. You may be good at what you're doing. You may even be better than everyone else. But without outside input, you will never be as good as you could be. In other words, you're not going to develop your full potential. We all do better when somebody is watching and evaluating and checking in. How are we doing? I'm praying for you. How was that last week? How did you do with that big project you're working on? Okay. Self-evaluation is very helpful when you're evaluating yourself, but evaluation from someone else is essential. That's how you're going to become a full-on success. So coaches have basically 5 characteristics. They care for the people that they coach. They observe their attitudes and behavior and performance. They align them with their strengths for peak performance. They communicate and give feedback about their performance. I've gotten all kinds of feedback about my performance. And 5, they help them to improve their lives and their performance. So bottom line, people can either be your greatest assets or your greatest liability. People in general. The people that you follow, your mentors, the people you look up to, whether it's an author in a book or a real life person, okay, the mentors that you take advice from will help to shape you, okay? If you spend your time with people who subtract from you, who belittle you, or undervalue you, then every step forward that you attempt to take will be very difficult. I'm going to say that again. You need to hear me. I have experienced that in my own experience with Plexus, okay? If you spend your time with people who subtract from you, who belittle you, or who undervalue you, then every step forward that you attempt to take will be very difficult. So you need to find yourself some people that will invest themselves in you, love you, nurture you, check in on you, rally with you, cry with you if necessary, celebrate with you, and stand there in the trenches with you. If you find wise leaders, good role models, and positive friends, you will find that they spend you, sorry, wrong word. You will find that those positive people will speed you on your journey. Speed you on your journey. No matter who you are or what you've accomplished or how high your life has taken you, you can benefit from having a mentor. You can. If you've never had one, you have no idea how much it can improve your life. No idea whatsoever. If you have had mentors, then you already know, and you should start passing it on by becoming a mentor to other people. Yes, you can do that, okay? Because you know that it's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. Remember, if all you have is yourself to follow, you're going around in circles. Okay, so pass that gift on to other people. I am going to talk a little bit about the homework a little bit. This is the application part. Your first step is to find a mentor. That's your first step. Think about where you are currently in your career and the direction that you would like to go. Look for somebody that you admire who is 2 to 3 steps ahead of you, okay, on the same track. 2 to 3 steps ahead on the same track. This person doesn't necessarily need to be in your organization, okay? I'm talking about that earlier. Look for the qualities needed in a good mentor, a worthy example. Are they available? Do they have proven experience, wisdom, willingness to be supportive of you, and coaching skills? Do they know how to advise you, okay? Do they know how to bring out the best in you, ask you the right questions to get you to evaluate yourself? If those are present in this individual, then ask him or her to mentor you, okay? Before any meeting with this mentor, you need to come prepared. That's what I did. You need to come prepared with 3 to 5 thoughtful questions. Don't just say, like my students would walk in the door, Miss Shirley, I don't get it. Okay, what don't you get? I don't get Spanish. Okay, well, what do you want me to do? Spend the next century teaching you the entire Spanish language? I mean, that's why you're in my class. I need some specific questions. What is it specifically you want me to focus on here on this session? You know, so you need to come to your mentor with a specific 2 or 3 thoughtful questions, and the answers to which will help you significantly. Okay, make sure you pick out the 3 big questions. After you've met with that person, work to apply what you have learned to your own situation. So get to work on that, okay? Apply it. Don't ask for another meeting until your mentor, until you have done all those things, okay? Your coach is not going to want to spend time with you if you're not applying what they just told you to do. So get to work and get that stuff applied. And then you can have a next evaluation, okay? So at your next meeting, begin the session by telling your mentor how you applied what you learned. What did you do? How did it turn out? Or how you tried to apply it and it failed, so that you can now learn what you did wrong and they can give you a good evaluation, okay? Then ask your new questions, because you're going to have new questions now. Follow this pattern and your mentor will be rewarded for his or her effort and will probably be glad to continue to help you. Look, coaches and mentors do not want to help people that are unwilling to work hard and are not ready to come willing and ready to learn. So you need to have some questions before you come in. You need to know specifically what you want to work on, have them advise you, then go and apply it, and then come back with 3 more questions after you've applied what you've done, whatever the outcome may be. Talk about the outcome, whether it was successful or whether you failed at it. Have 3 more questions and get them to answer those questions and evaluate what just happened and give you encouragement on your next section. And I think that is the way to always apply and work with a mentor, okay? Who do you talk to when you have questions? This is question 2. Who do you go out? This is so important. Who do you go out and talk to when you have questions related to marriage, parenting, spiritual growth, personal disciplines, hobbies, and so on? Who is it that you go and talk to about those things? Those are personal areas, right? No one person can answer all of those questions. Are you going to go to the same person to talk about parenting and also talk about spiritual growth and also talk about your hobbies? Most likely not. Each one of those is going to need somebody different because not one person has all those things. You need to find several individual consultants to help you. That's why I have more than one mentor. Okay? Spend time making 2 lists. First, list the specific strengths or skills that you want to improve to reach your potential. You need to write out the specific skills that you want to, okay, for me, it was get a system of accountability and one that includes prospecting, reaching out, and following up. Get a system. That's one thing I wanted to do. The next thing I wanted to do is gain some skills in learning how to recruit. And that means reaching out and following up. And granted, those are the 2 most important skills that you have got to acquire if you want to learn how to recruit. Okay? And that is to do it effectively. And obviously, I felt like I was lacking. So I needed that. And I didn't want to just continue to watch videos. Do I watch videos? Yes, I watch them all the time. I wanted some one-on-one. Okay, this is when you've got this kind of person, you talk to them this way. When you have that kind of person, this is what you're going to say to them. When they don't say something, this is what you're going to say. When this person never has responded, here's what you're going to say. I love that kind of specific advice. Second thing you're going to do on the second list, so the first list is a specific strength or skills that you want to acquire. And the second list is the specific problem areas where you feel that you need for ongoing guidance. Okay? Begin looking for people with expertise in these particular areas and ask them if they would be willing to answer the questions when you have them. Just say, hey, would you be willing to answer questions on this specific area when I have them? Would you be available to do that? Okay. And if say they are, but then they don't do it, then they're not available. Okay. They might say, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then they don't. Well, they're not available then. Okay. And the third thing, and this is the last thing, and then I'm done. If you have not been asking others to help you on your journey, it's time to start doing it now. If you haven't been asking people for help on your journey, it's time to start doing it now. Look for people who will give you access to their lives. Okay? As you look for models and mentors, I want to give you a word of caution. This is John Maxwell. Oftentimes people look good from far away, but when you get to know them, you discover qualities you don't admire. Okay? If that happens to you, please do not allow it to discourage you and keep you from looking for someone else, okay? There are plenty of people out there, plenty of people who have integrity and who are worthy to be respected and followed, such as, for example, John Wooden, who takes the time to mentor, who took the time, he's no longer living, to mentor and coach so many people that had nothing to do with sports, for example. Keep looking for these mentors and you will find them. Okay, thank you for joining us this evening. We are now going to stop the recording and have our team support discussion Q&A. Thank you so much and good night.